Emotional abuse is another tactic on the power and control wheel. This particular form of abuse is something that happens usually more often than the physical violence does, because it's his way of getting her to understand that she's less than. He believes in his head that he has a right to dominate her. He believes that he's superior to her. He wants her to believe the same thing. And part of how he gets her to believe he's superior is by constantly putting her down. So the kitchen's never clean enough. The dishes are never done the right way. The kids are never disciplined correctly. You don't even go to the store on the right road. It takes you too long to get to the kids' school and back again. I mean, there's literally nothing that she does right, and he's constantly using emotional abuse as a way to get her to believe that not only isn't she worthy, but literally she couldn't survive on her own without him. That she needs his superior thinking abilities in order to even survive. This has come to me many times when working with men who are violent and then talking to their partners. And an example would be a woman who raised 6 children on her own. He literally didn't do anything to help raise these kids. He didn't even work. She held the job. She made the money. And when he first was put in jail and she was alone with these kids, her response was, "I don't think I can possibly make it without him. He contributes so much." Now, as advocates, the advocates knew that that wasn't the case. They knew that she was, running this house and keeping it together, and that he was really detracting from all of it. But she didn't know that, because he had so convinced her, so diminished her, that she didn't believe in herself. Now, 8 months later, when he's still in jail, she comes into the building and says, I don't think I actually need him in the house. I make the money. I raise my kids. I attend to all their needs. I'm not sure what he's actually done in the last 10 years to contribute to this home. Right? She came to that understanding once she had the space to actually prove to herself that she could make it. So this emotional abuse takes the form of a lot of name calling, not just putting her down and her choices down, but also name calling. So I've read police reports for years and years and years, hundreds of police reports. I've yet to come across a police report where an officer is interviewing a man who has beaten his partner and he refers to her by her given name. He refers to her as a cunt, a whore, a bitch, a slut, all these different names, but never her name. And when we work with men in class in a rehabilitation effort, one of the group rules is that they have to call their partners by their name. There are men in class who refuse to participate because they will not use her given name, because it's a point of respect, and they can't extend that to their partners because they don't believe that she's actually equal to them. This is the depth of that entitlement, that dominance that they carry into the home and into their relationships with women. So although the women say that the hitting causes a great deal of fear and a great deal of pain, it's the emotional abuse, that constant diminishment of who they are as women, and the name calling that gets associated with it, that is some of the hardest for the women to overcome, because they literally lose themselves in this notion that they are something other than who they believe they were before they met him.